guys, welcome back to the channel. Yes, it has been a while. Thank you to all the people that nagged me in the comments to bring out more content. If it wasn't for you, I would not be giving this another crack. But we are going to move on. We're going to do some more content on the tonner, mainly for now. 5 years since any decent content on my channel. Obviously built the shed, moved into a new place, completely built my new shed myself. It's taken me a while to get settled, but you know, I feel like we're in a place now where we can pump out a bit more content on the tonner. This episode we go through building the new tray for the tonner. We're obviously I'm going to start moving into making it look better. I think I did a pretty short little episode doing some side skirts on it about a year ago before Rocky Nuts, because I was actually prepping it for Rocky Nuts. And I actually built this custom tray a year ago, but never released the footage. So I thought I've got a lot more episodes in the works. So I thought we better go back and I'll upload this tray video. So enjoy this one. This was from January 2024. Built this tray. Still going strong now. Everything works perfectly. So yeah, that's going to show you how I built this tray. I think we start off, I've already got the old tray off it, ready to go. So let's hook in and yeah, plenty more to come. Now we're gonna build the tray. I've already jumped ahead a little bit and made a bit of a start. I have some 25x30 channel that have gone ahead and just bolted down M10 bolts, M10 by 20 high tensile, into the factory threaded bosses in the chassis of the tonners. And there's another one there. Just the two for now, each side. I'm going to build some custom bracketry here for the headboard, which I'll take you through. But yeah, generally I'm trying to make it as light as possible. It's never going to be used as a ute. I'm just trying to make it light because light is faster. Bit of progress. Welded some uprights onto the rails. Left them a bit long for the headboard. A couple of angle brackets down onto the chassis with some more bolts into the factory threaded bosses in the chassis. So now we can move on to the headboard. Already jumped ahead with the headboard. I think it's just a bit of 3mm with the theme of making it light. And I chose a width, and I wanted to sort of copy the top of the cab, that angle there for the headboard. So strangely enough, I just got a bucket and sort of copied the radius off there in there, so transferred it over. Too easy. Cut it out with a jigsaw, sand up the edges. So I'll put that up there and we'll have a look at it. All right, put that headboard in and just weld it on the bottom, just in the two spots. This top bit here I'll probably weld when I take it back off, because I want to cut those back on an angle and put a weld around there. So clamps will hold it for now. That sun's probably going to play up, but it's hard to see. I'll close the garage door down and get another clip, but this round bit here I've tried to match the round around the top of the cab. I'm not too unhappy with that shape. I think it's all right. Height wise, it covers up all the mouldings in the back, plastic in the back of the cab, so we can move on to start laying some slats. So this is just your normal tray decking profile. I think it's 25. Yep, 25mm, and it interlocks this front bit of the next one. Just interlocks into there. Now obviously this first one, I've ripped it down for power saw so that the little pad that it sits on is right next to where it butts up. So it makes it nice and stable. So now it's just a matter of, and I've also cut it over lengths because I'll cut them all back later. I'll measure off the tyres and come up with the shape of the tray after, so I've got a bigger starting platform and then cut back. So I'll just work my way along, just cut these slats until I get up to about the tyre, then I'll show you how we notch it in for around the tyre for the tub. As we're moving along, obviously with these 30mm side rails, all this is going to get real close, and I've allowed for that. So straight away, the top of the fuel tank breather, that actually sits above the bottom, but this sits between the ribs, so it's situated quite well. I have had to take it out of the normal holders and then zip tie it off to the side so it fits. But yeah, it sneaks just under there nicely. And I dare say the next one will need to be notched underneath to clear all the fuel. Alright, that next bottom slat, had to notch the full bottom out of it to clear the fuel pump with the terminals. I will end up sticking some rubber to the underside there, just in case it flexes. We're about 10mm off the terminals there, so yeah, we'll probably flex some rubber under there and just give it that little bit of protection. But other than that, we'll just keep moving along. The next one will probably have a cutout for the wheels in it, so I'll be able to mark that out and cut that out. Alright, I've jumped right ahead. Got all the slats welded down to the back. This is the final length I'm going for. Just rough cut out just to miss the tyres for now, and I'll more accurately mark it out for the tubs. But yeah, it's coming along, so it gives you a bit of an idea. It's going to be pretty low sitting, which is good. So I've moved on, starting to mark out the outsides of the tray, because I've left all these things long so I can trim it back to exactly the shape that I like. Straight edge on the outside of the tyre. I think that's about nearly 20mm, so that's be enough clearance. And I've marked that, and then you can see from that point there back to the headboard on the angle. I've put the headboard in off the edge of the cab a little bit, because for aerodynamics I don't want that hanging out catching wind. So this one here will be slightly angled in. Yeah, this one here nice and straight and parallel with the back. So obviously I'm going to cut that all to shape. And then already started cutting this side, marked it. But then I've got this set up so I can show you how I'm marking the locations of the tub. So I've got a bit of 70mm timber there, a bit of old 70mm frame, and I've got it sitting parallel on the tyre because I want my tub to have 70mm of clearance for the tyre to come up in there. So I've got to make sure that that tub follows the tyre with 3 inches clearance. So it's just a matter of putting the timber there square off the tyre, and then I've just squared off the top, and that's giving me the line to where that tub will intersect, where the top of the tub will intersect the tray. And then obviously I've done it the other side as well. Put a mark there, and I also did it off the top and got 180mm from the tray top. So with the width and the height, then I can make the sides of the tub the shape for the sides, which I'll move on to next, so that we can start looking at the sides of the tubs and all that sort of stuff. But all right, template's made. Obviously just got the overall width of the tub, and then this line here is tray line with the 180mm of lift from the tray line. Scribe the diameter, and then the squared out part is the same dimension as the side angle, because obviously it goes down the side. So we'll try and hold it, but you get the idea that on the sides where the angles are, the flat section of the tub will actually sit in line with the bottom of the angles. It'll be, yeah, pretty aggressively low. So obviously template made, transfer it onto some 3mm plate, cut them out with cut the radius with a jigsaw of an aggressive timber blade I find works the best. And then any straight cuts, just a normal timber blade works, eh? Just rip it. Made the template, then also cut some rectangles out of thinner, I think it's 1.6. And I took these down to the local sheet metal place and they rolled them for me to suit that diameter. Now they're a bit long, I purposely did a bit long, I've got to cut them down, but I'm now at the point where I'll take the tray off, start cutting all this out and tacking the tubs in. Righto, some time's gone past. I ended up getting a mate of mine, Nath from Millsy Fab, to come on in and do the welding for me, come during the day, weekday, and he just smashed it out. I helped hold it together for him, tacked it up with his pulse MIG, and then he just went to town with his TIG welder and just welded like crazy. It's come up quite good. So yeah, I've made some good progress. All the tubs, everything's welded in. It's completely welded. Probably 8 hours worth of welding he spent on it. Just smashed it out. I'm already over here in the carport getting ready for paint prep. I don't want any of the shavings inside my shed. So yeah, I suppose before he welded, I did all the outside. Was it 80x50 angle? Just cut it with a miter saw. Just normal Makita miter saw, a bit like skirting. And then I drilled a series of holes in the top. I'd say they're probably 10mm holes, and it was he's just plug welded it to the top of the slats. I've already started grinding them down, getting ready to sand them down all flat. Just TIG welded the corners in. I'm going to leave those TIG welds nice and strong. Leave all these welds, not grind any of them down. The only ones I'm going to grind down are the plugs on the top and on the side, because I want that whole side to look flat. So yeah, he helped me out a lot, actually. But I hit him up. Millsy Fab, he's on Instagram, message him. Might even put a link if I can figure out how at the bottom. And yeah, she's coming along good. I'm actually going to flip this thing over so we'll be able to have a look underneath. We did some work underneath as well in the next clip. That's the filler hose. I'll show you how I did that too a bit later when the tray's all done. But yeah, pulse MIG this because you don't really see it, so they're MIG welds. But yeah, it come up really good. So yeah, I'm just grinding, sanding everything flat, getting ready for some etch primer. So around the outside, all these trims and the headboard, all the trims, the tubs around the outside is all going to be 2-pack black. But in the middle on the slats, I'm actually going to use that wrap the coating, spray or wrap the coating on there, so it's got a bit of texture and it's a bit more durable through the middle. So I'm just going through now, sanding all the plugs down. Gonna orbital sand everything 240, ready for a coat of etch primer. Pretty boring stuff to watch, but yeah, it should come up alright. Alright, with the tub upside down, you have a bit of a look. You can see where Nath did his pulse MIG and just MIG'd every rail to the main rail. And also you'll see the pulse MIG because it's a bit sooty. But that's where we tacked all the tubs together up on the inside. Same as this side, just tacked it all on the inside, and then he could run the TIG on the outside. But you can see the inner tub welded to the bottom of the rail for a bit extra vertical strength there. Same that side. You can see the little legs, the front legs. Yeah. I had to put this extra support in with the heat along the top here. It started to twist, so we just put another little rail section there. And then I've just gone through now and TIG welded the tail light brackets and the number plate bracket. Just offset a little bit. Just finished sanding with the orbital with 240 grit, the whole lot. Getting ready for some etch primer. Wire wheeled all the welds as well, so they're all clean, no more soot. So yeah, give it a rub down with wax and grease remover. Just about to tape it all up. Get ready to throw etch primer around the outside edge. But yeah, it's a little bit of a shame to cover some of these welds up, to be honest. But all the plug welds smoothed out reasonably well. Ground all them down. Got a little bit of a divot on this joint. After it's etch primed, I might have to put a bit of filler in there just to skim. But yeah, it's coming up good. Right, I've probably been a bit slack with those video clips. Not that I really want to teach anyone how to prep paint, because I'm not very good at it. But yeah, as you can see, it's all painted thanks to the neighbour. Good mate of mine, Luke. Come over, we painted in here under the carport, so there is a bit of stuff in the paint that we'll wet sand out and buff, but yeah, it looks pretty good. It all looks like one solid piece along the side there, which is great. So it was just a case of lick etch primer over all of it. Then I sprayed some spray putty and spot putty across the top. I think I've got a couple of pics that I might insert so you can just see the progress. Then, yeah, a bit of primer filler, and then the neighbour come over and painted it up. So, yeah, she's looking pretty good. The next step is all through the middle is now going to be the Raptor coating. It's like a bed liner textured. I think it'll just contrast good instead of all of it being shiny. Having a bit of contrast there will be good. So there's instructions. There's heaps of videos online. I'm not going to show you how to wrap the coat, but got to let this go off a bit. I can't tape up this shiny paint until it fully goes off for a couple of days. So might go inside the shed there and start working on the fuel tank vent and have a look at that. All right, 1 tonner fuel tank filler and vent. This is the factory one here. You can see up near the filler here, it has this attachment for a vent that comes off the top of the fuel tank. Now that's for, as you're filling it, air can get in behind the nozzle and just vent out, because obviously as you displace fuel, air has to exit the tank to make room for the fuel, so you'll find that air flies out. You'll find that when we start playing around with these trays and mounting them a lot lower, obviously trying to put fuel into the fuel tank becomes extremely difficult. I know this from experience from my mate's 1 tonner, and even my V6 1 tonner, the tray is still pretty low, and always having trouble getting fuel in it efficiently, so I think I've come up with a way to fix it. But another thing to note too is these standard fuel caps, there's actually a spring-loaded valve inside there. So when the fuel tank gets full of fuel and hot and it needs to expand, pressure will actually release out these vent holes around the top. It'll push against this spring that's in the middle there. And then oppositely, as the fuel pump starts to suck fuel out of the fuel tank and it needs to suck air in, it'll also pull in here and feed back into the tank through the vent and through the filler. So when we go starting to play with that stuff, we need to keep all that in mind. Now what I've come up with is the filler is now extremely low. That's actually the height of the tank. Oh, sorry, not the height of the tray, that flange there. So you can see extremely low compared to standard. It's barely over the top of the tank, maybe. Oh, far out. 40 mil maybe. And I've also got this sealed, fully sealed. There's no venting here. It's just a fully sealed O-ring unit. There's no way for air to come in or out. So, and that's probably a good thing, because you don't want no water leaks sitting on top of your tray when you flush mount this in the tray. This is proper 38 mil fuel resistant hose. Fuel resistant hose, got it off eBay. It's oh, there's a bit of a part number. Oh, you can't see it. It's McKay. Oh, yep, there we go. Perfect. Comes in a little 90. I've actually cut it down to size, which is good. Slides on there good. Couple of hose clamps. Now we've sealed all that up. Out to the fuel tank vent. So what I've come up with is this little contraption here and behind the headboard. So there's your factory fuel tank vent up the top there. It's still got the factory bit of line on it. And then what I've done is I've got myself a bit of 3/4 copper tube and bent it up, which is just this stuff over here. Just this bender, bit of copper tube, and just bent it up so it comes up behind the headboard. So it's just, yeah, it comes up behind the headboard. Couple of insulated, what are they, P-clamps or P-saddles, whatever you want to call them, and a little 19mm rocker cover breather. Now obviously behind the headboard it's still exposed to rain, so I just got a bit of aluminium angle and just bent it up as a little flashing for it, so I can just vent in underneath there behind the headboard. So fuel goes in, vents, fuel pump sucks back in. So that's my little solution for it, and this will stay sealed. And then realistically now I should be able to just put the nozzle in, just chug fuel straight in there, and there won't be any backing up problems. It should just dust out all the fumes pretty quickly out there. So yeah, that's the solution for that, and that's all done. So just about ready to pop the tray on after it's painted with the wrap the coat. The only other thing I want to do is the location for the tail lights, where the plug is here. It's in a pain in the ass position because I want to mount the tail loom to the tray. I don't want to have to put my hands up in here to try and plug it in, so because it's so low now. So I'm actually going to cut and shut this and bring the plug over here, so it's easy for me to get under there and plug the tail lights in. So pretty much move that, complete the wrap the coating, and then we'll put the tray on. Alrighty, wrap the coating is complete. Camera actually doesn't give it no justice. It actually looks quite good. Looks a little bit like carpet from afar. I noticed on the camera too, it's making weird stripy looks, but it actually doesn't look too bad in real life. Bit of texture. I had the edge primer it all, scratch it all up, hit it with some edge primer, then the wrap the coat goes on. But yeah, nice contrast. Gives it that real dark grey, sort of satin black look. And just really makes the sides pop. So I'm real happy with that actually. Also whacked it up in the back of the headboard here where it's in behind the cab. Left around the outside nice and glossy, but yeah, a bit on the back there. But yeah, she's come up good. Obviously still have to sand and buff the shiny paint, but yeah, she's ready to go on. Next step's to put her on. Alrighty, finished product for the tray. I'm actually closing this video out 12 months later. So the old ute, she's been done for 12 months like this now. I thought, oh yeah, better put the video out so people can see it. I'm actually doing some other work to it at the moment too, so potentially more videos to come. But yeah, she's coming out well. Completely changed the look of the car. Obviously I put the 17-inch pursuit rims on the front, painted all wheels out gloss black, but yeah, it's come out really well. Real happy with it, changed the look of it. Ended up taking it to Rocky Nuts last year, and yeah, people loved it. It was great. The whole filler mod works perfectly. I put hundreds of tanks of fuel in here now and never had an issue with it backing up and spurting out. It's great. The Raptor lining seems to be holding up too, which is good. Yeah, ended up getting these cheap LED strip lights off eBay. I think they're 14 bucks, but they come up good. I'll turn them on in a second, film it. And I just threw a little LED up underneath the bottom there to light up the number plate. But yeah, she's all done. I'll throw a little clip into those lights now. All right, that wraps up that tray build. Huge shout out to Millsy Fab. Just a great bloke, give us a good hand here, and I've been in talks with him, and he's more than happy to fabricate these kind of trays for anyone. He's in southeast Queensland, specifically Burpengary, and yeah, more than happy to put one of these together for someone that doesn't know how to do it, or just do parts of it like he did for me. He's flexible, bloody good bloke. And he also does paint too, so far out, he can just do the whole package. He's quite the gifted bloke, bloody good bloke too. Obviously I'll put a link to his socials down in the description. Just reach out to him. You know, even if you need me to come down and we can have a bit of a meeting, and design meeting or something like that about your work, I'm more than happy to help out too. Like, yeah, whatever you need, you know what I mean, more than happy to help out modifying your cars. That's what we're here for. So yeah, thanks a lot, Millsy, for giving us a hand. Next episode, we're gonna work on the engine, put a camshaft in there. Obviously budget, that's the whole theme of this thing. Budget, and yeah, I'll show you how to slip a cam in and have a bit of fun doing it. Thanks a lot for watching this one, and yeah, all that normal stuff, and we'll see you in the next episode.